Hey everyone, it's Mario Daniel Sconza right here with my dear friend and partner in business, Mr. Jim Hynes from Rochester, New York, the great Rochester, New York. Jim,
Oh, yeah.
hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you today?
Well, I hope everyone's doing amazingly well. Want to share some thoughts here today about EXP Realty of Canada, specifically. Jim, tell us a little bit here about your journey into this great company of ours.
Sure. I'm partners with my wife down here in Rochester, and we have been in real estate solely together for about the past 10 years. She's been a realtor 16 years, and we were at the traditional real estate companies. You know, it could be a Keller Williams, could be a REMAX. We've done them all. And for whatever reasons, those models did not seem to fit our needs anymore. We needed a place to go. We met some people who were at eXp Realty back in 2016, and we said, "Hey, let me know a little bit more about that company. What's it all about? What is this in the cloud company that everyone's starting to talk about? We're hearing buzz." And we met with a few people, and the model had things we were interested in. The split was right. The 100% commission once you reach the cap was right in line with what we had been doing and wanted to continue to do. This company has stock rewards. When you reach certain criteria, you do certain level of sales, you have your first sale in a year, they reward you with stock. How do they reward you with stock? Well, eXp Realty is a publicly traded company. They are on the NASDAQ. And that's what they reward you with, that stock. You reach stock awards when you reach a certain level and become an icon agent. And people say, well, what's an icon agent? Well, it means you've met your cap and you're at 100% commission. And also you've done 20 more deals beyond that. And once you do that, they give you another award of $12,000 that has to be vested, but you have opportunity to get $4,000 more if you go to the eXp shareholders meeting, which I do go to those meetings regardless of being an icon agent or not, because I feel since I'm part of this company, I need to know what's going on. And then EXPCon, which is the big EXP conference, they give you another $2,000 in stock when you go to those events if you're an icon agent. I got to get back to the question, what brought us here? It's a great company. There's one office, and so we can have teams anywhere, and we still only pay one cap. Right now, my wife and I will be putting a team down in Tampa. We've already have the infrastructure in place per se, and the fact that eXp is there, we don't need to go set up another cap with another office. We can just have it go through, run our team through us, and it's paid out by the office down in Fort Lauderdale, Tampa.
So sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted
Please interrupt. I'll go on and on.
I wanted to cap on what you said there, so to speak, is that one of the brilliant things about eXp Realty is that, and this is one of the reasons I was attracted to the model after 29 years with REMAX.
Wow.
And so one of the reasons I was attracted to the model is that I now have the opportunity to build a real estate brokerage in a geographically unlimited way. And I can build my brokerage without having to deal with bricks and mortar, without having to deal with staffing, and without having to deal with the invariable regulatory issues that ultimately arise when we have a very large brokerage. And so as an example, I can build my brokerage, and there's people doing it right now. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, there's people in our brokerage right now who actually have brokerages of 5 and 6 6,000 people. Imagine having to house 5,000 and 6,000 realtors and staff, having staff for all those people and things of that nature. It's really a brilliant concept. Now, you have very recently taken on. Now, how long have you been with EXP, Jim?
Since November 1st, 2016, there were 1,700 agents, and now there's over 18,000.
Yeah, so actually, our company is, and I say our company, and it feels really great to say our company, and it really is our company. You and I are shareholders of this company. And so our company was actually founded 11 years ago by a gentleman by the name of Glenn Sanford, who, by the way, is a Canadian. He founded the company in America, in Washington. And so this was 11 years ago. From year 1 to year 6, we grew from 1 realtor, Glenn Sanford, to 400 realtors. In the last 5 years, we have gone from 400 realtors to 800 to 2,200 to 6,800. And now we are sitting here at over 18,000 realtors. That's what we call exponential growth. Now, Jim, very recently, so you've been with the company since 2016, so just about 2.5 years now, and very recently you actually took on a different position with the company, besides being, a great realtor, and you folks sell hundreds of homes there in Rochester, you and Debbie. You've taken on a different position. Can you share a little bit about what you're doing in that way?
Yeah, EXP just recently announced that they'll be opening in New York City, and New York City does real estate in a completely different way than the rest of the world. We kind of jokingly call it the wild, wild west. That being said, I've been put on as the compliance payment specialist for New York State, and the reason for that is we can get paid within 24 to 48 hours of closing. Even if the checks aren't in, providing that closing documents have been turned in and everything's in compliance through SkySlope, which is the transaction management system which EXP uses. So since New York State is going to be exploding with new growth, they needed someone specifically for that task. And I've been tasked with that, and I gladly accepted it to help grow our company.
Right on. And that's one of the great things is because, although we're at 18,000 realtors, we're definitely, very much in growth and expansion mode. And there's many intrinsic opportunities beyond selling real estate, if that's, what you want to do. And of course, buyers and sellers, helping buyers and sellers, homeowners, that's, everything stems from there. And so you talked about SkySlope management. Now, being at REMAX for 29 years, one of the things I grew accustomed to, especially as I started to grow a larger team, is, monthly bills in the thousands, several thousands of dollars. And here at EXP, there's one monthly fee. And by the way, everyone is on the same split. Everyone pays the same fee. There's no special deals for anyone, regardless of how long we've been in the business, how many transactions we do. Everyone has the same equal and fair and equitable opportunity. And so for $139 a month, and I'm just going to share some things off the top of my head, for $139 a month here, we have access to SkySlope management, Lone Wolf accounting software, KV Core website, AuthentiSign document signing platform, a worldwide Regis membership, and there's some other things that I'm missing, I'm sure. Jim, can you think of anything?
That's a great bundle, even just to start with, and the fact that you do have the Regis membership, you don't need the brick and mortar. The brick and mortar is in place for you. and you use it as you need it. It's not as if you're, paying tremendous dollars out to brick and mortar for unless you need the property. And KV Core, it was conversion. It is a CRM. It is it's a great resource that comes to everybody who belongs to EXP. And there's training. There's training in the world 5 days a week, all different times of the day, and it's live. And I mentioned the world. What is the world? Well, it's EXP Cloud World, and everyone gets an avatar, and you can go in. They have live training. They do continuing education through there. If you need to go to accounting, you can go to accounting, and someone will speak to you about whatever's going on with your accounting with the company. There's tech aid. If you're having an issue with your computer, you can log in. They can get into your computer and tell you what's wrong with it. And since we are east to west coast, we're open from 9 a.m. East Coast time to 8 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday.
It's quite amazing because one of the things that was really cool when I first came into this company here. By the way, that was my birthday gift to myself. February 27th, 2019 is when I came into this company after 29 years at REMAX. And by the way, my family has been in the real estate business here in the Greater Toronto area for 64 years, since 1955. God rest his soul. That's when my dad started a real estate company, which went on to house 250 realtors here within 5 offices in the city of Toronto. So we understand bricks and mortar, staffing, and regulatory issues very, very, very deeply as a family. So anyhow, one of the things that was really cool is I'm able to go into what we call EXP world. And, within literally 60 seconds, sometimes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm speaking to the accounting department. Let's just say I have, as an example, a question about, something that's come up in accounting on one of our deals. I can go right now into the accounting department and literally talk to the accountant within, 5 minutes. The other day I was on the line with somebody, and we also have something called Facebook Workplace Chat, which is an internal chat mechanism that we leverage to communicate with each other here in the company. And we have a great director of Canadian operations. Her name is Deb Stevens. And I was on the line with a fellow Canadian from Quebec, which, by the way, we're opening up the Quebec market on July the 1st. And so I was on the line with a fellow Canadian from Quebec. She had some questions about what was happening when it was opening. I reached out to Deb Stevens, who's the director of Canadian operations. That's, a pretty hefty responsibility. And literally within 30 seconds, I said, "Hey, Deb, I'm on the line with a fellow Canadian who has some questions about what's happening here in Quebec. Can you hop on the phone with me?" And within 30 seconds, she responded. And within 2 minutes, we were on the phone with the director of Canadian operations. So the ability to communicate within this company is quite remarkable. Can you speak to that a little bit, Jim? Some experiences.
Oh yeah, and it is in real time. There's an immediacy which I haven't seen. There's been times when I've been at traditional brokerages trying to speak to the broker, and it could be days, right? I mean, if they're not at the office, they're not taking calls. Through Workplace, which is powered by Facebook, you can see what everybody's doing. The leadership is approachable. They respond timely, and the beauty of the Workplace, you don't get the distractions of Facebook. It's all business. It's all about what's going on at EXP, and you can focus on it. You can reach out to anybody in the company, and they do check and they do respond. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So what, Any parting thoughts here? I mean, if somebody's contemplating making a move from a traditional brokerage to our wonderful company here, I mean, you went through the process. You were with REMAX. You were with Keller Williams. What are some examples of, or one example? Let's just take one example. Why should somebody maybe consider diving deeper into an analysis on this company and some due diligence if they're thinking about making a move? Why EXP?
Well, you know, it has to, for us, it was opportunity and growth. We compared the companies side by side, the way the splits were, the way the opportunity for to maximize the money we can make, and and growth, right? Because we're the world's getting smaller every day, and we have connections throughout the United States and Canada, and to be able to partner with them and do business to benefit both us and them in real time without the brick and mortar, it's amazing. It's just opportunity like we haven't seen.
Yep, absolutely. There is exponential opportunity in many different forms. Again, it all stems from helping people buy and sell real estate. If one wants to take on a different avenue in terms of attracting realtors into their brokerage, which is our brokerage, there's tremendous opportunity there. And Jim, if someone wanted to reach out to you directly, would that be okay if someone wanted to reach out to you directly?
Sure. I'd love to help someone. If you had someone you were talking to and wanted to help them bring to the company, you reach out to me anytime, and I would help you build your part of the company.
Okay. And how would somebody reach you if they wanted to talk to you? Say they're watching this video, or today is April the 24th, 2019. They might be watching it a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, God willing. We're both walking this earth at that point in time. But yeah, how would they reach you?
Well, they could reach out through me through Facebook, or they could just call me at 585-419-5683, and I'll get back to them.
Right on. Well, we appreciate hearing this opportunity. This is actually our first Be Live. Thank you, Jim, for sharing your experiences, and this experience with me is actually a really cool platform. And
it was a first for both of us, so we'll be doing it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see us doing many more of these, and it was a lot of fun for me, and I really appreciate your sharing. And peace and blessings to you all. And just remember to take the safe way home. Take good care now.
All right. Talk to y'all later.